Hello there and welcome to a short video which is going to be more of a ramble, as are most of my nerd talks. Welcome back to the channel. This is Nerd.World Films. Please like, share, subscribe, comment down below if you enjoy this video, and if you do like it, please check out the other videos extensively in the playlist, as well as my sister channel Nerd.World Empire, on which all of my different socials are linked under the same umbrella and hashtag if you really feel like searching for that. This episode is on the Predators, not the Predators as in the film. I probably will do that series, but the next series I'm currently producing of Nerd Talks is on the Friday the 13th, which will be up soon. But this one is on the Predators, specifically the Yautja species, as they are generally known in various media, or the Hiskuten, to give them their original name. But that's all comic book lore, which I will be avoiding. We are going to have a rundown of the different Predator types, and my feeling, and hopefully yours if you express it in the comments, onto why the fuck the Predators look so different from film to bloody film. The original Predator, the original Yautja from the 1987 movie, is goddamn perfect. The film is near perfect in general, which is a story for its own time, its own video anyway, but that ugly motherfucker is beautiful, it is perfect, it is scary enough and doesn't need to keep being changed. Now we all know the real reasons behind the scenes. They keep wanting to update them for what they think is a modern audience or some bullshit like that, but no, that's not what they need to do. You need to reinvent the story, fine. You need to change the setting, fine. The monster is the monster. It's like people get really upset over the creature in Alien 3. It makes sense that the aliens you see in the other films are bipedal because they've chest burst from a human. That one chest burst to pretty much cut you see either from a dog or a bull, both of which walk on all fours, so therefore it walks on all fours. They take an attribute to their host. God, it's not that complicated, people. Anyway, back to these things. Yeah. Now, if we do steal a little bit from comic book lore, my personal headcanon says that the Predators you see in Predators, they really need to think of better names for these films, by the way, are probably Bad Bloods, or the first encounters we truly have with Bad Bloods. And Bad Bloods, if you know comic book lore, are basically Predators that don't play by the rules. They don't care about honor or anything like that. They'll just kill for the sake of killing, and they aren't above breaking the rules, like genetically modifying themselves, using cybernetic enhancement, using banned weapons or tactics against inferior prey, taking revenge on prey that happen to beat them, things like that. They're not the nice guys. But then you've got the normal ones, the regular Predators, who don't do that kind of stuff, and by Predator standards do have at least some semblance, which is recognizable at least to some humans, as a sense of honor. For example, we know that they don't kill pregnant women because the infant unborn offspring is innocent. They don't kill injured or weak individuals weakened by disease, such as Mr. Wayland. Basically, they're after the alphas, not all the betas. They don't matter. They want the bucks, the queens, whatever. They meant the strongest fighters. We see, though, from film to film, the Predators seem to be changing. Now, they try to explain this away in The Predator by saying that they're genetically modifying themselves, but again, I fall back on that's kind of like the Bad Bloods MO. That wasn't what I sensed the original Predator went up against the assault team was after, nor the Predator from, that attacked LA. My headcanon tells me that the Predators we've seen in the most recent movies are part of that particular faction of Predator society that are the Bad Bloods. They're the renegades, they're the criminals. Now, I did actually encounter a video recently, I won't say by who, tried to explain them all away as all different subspecies of the same race, which is supposedly possible, but the way they described it actually made them sound like naturally evolved different species, and that's not how. I mean, I know they're meant to be old and shit, but I don't think that's what's happening here. Basically, to me, it's the Bad Bloods. Now, I want to hear your opinions in the comments below. What are they? Why are they different? Now, obviously, the Super Predator, my god, that film is bad. I'm sorry. That film is terrible. But the super predator is clearly a result of genetic engineering and gene splicing. We see something similar in the comic books with a sort of multi-armed, multi-toothed kind of predator that's absolutely batshit insane and only could exist in the comic books. It does make sense. I can see certain factions or individuals in Predator's side. I can certainly accept that there's variation in the species. But saying like there's a difference between a dog and a wolf and a wolf are related, they're not the same species. If we're to go off that logic, which of course was just a human observation, it is plausible that the hunters we saw in Predators are a different species, genetically related, or are simply bad bloods. The ones that are genetically augmented we see in the Predator are quite different. And then we come to Prey, the feral predator as I've heard it referred to. I recently watched that film as of the uploading of this video. It's only come out recently. And I did watch it on the day of its release. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. I thought at first, I've seen a fan fiction film which is very similar story, or by very similar, it's got some very similar broad brushstrokes. It's by no means the same story. But I was afraid that this film was basically going to be art imitating art kind of story, and it wouldn't be great. But actually, the story is not overly complicated, it's not overly thought out. The characters actually have developmental moments, they don't win all the time. There's not a huge amount of some of the sort of postmodern art, we'll call it, in filmmaking, where you have to tear down certain characters to prop other ones up, which does become a problem sometimes. But this film doesn't have any of that. I have a believable protagonist, I've got a believable enemy, and I've got a believable set of circumstances as far as a movie about an intergalactic hunter hunting people for sport can go. The creature itself actually reminds me as a cross between what I see as the Predators in the other films, and also actually a creature that I saw in Stargate Atlantis with similar mandibles and stuff, and kind of similar looking. But that was also a primitive creature. I can see why people call it the feral. Was this truly feral? Was it deformed? Was it a different species again? Is this once again an example of some kind of primitive one? Or if we follow the narrative of the movies that they're genetically modifying themselves, is it possible that that's what the Predators looked like centuries ago? But then the Predator films do seem to be holding the canon of the AVP movies. If you actually watch The Predator, there are Easter eggs in that film that relate to those movies. So therefore, theoretically, the AVP movies are part of Predator canon, which would indicate that the Predators that came to Earth millennia ago looked like the Predators that came to Earth in the 1980s and 1990s, meaning that that was a continuation of the same species, the same as humans look the same back then, they look the same now. So these other Predators we keep encountering, what the hell are they? What the fuck? Why are they so different? Why do they have to look different? They don't need to look bigger, mean, or nastier, they just need to be the original OG Predator in my opinion. But it's not that I dislike the redesign from Predators, for example. I did dislike the redesign from The Predator. I actually quite like the feral Predator, but I would like a canonical, genuine explanation as to why the hell they look different, and I don't want that explanation to be something as stupid as they're taking human DNA because super autism is the future of the human race. And you know what, I'm going to say that because I'm autistic. So, it ain't a superpower. It's bollocks. So, you know what? Screw that movie. Where was I? Prey, though, pretty good. Gonna do a review of it at some point. I'm not one for doing spoilers particularly, so I'm not going to do a nerd talk on the Predator movies. I might do it as my next series after the Friday the 13th films, but obviously there's a lot of Friday the 13th films, so they're going to be taking up a lot of my channel's time. At some point I'm going to do the Predators, though. So that's distantly down the line. Again, let me know in the comments below what you think of these films, and more accurately, what you think about the Predator evolution in the movies. And we all know that it's behind the scenes stuff, different artists redesigning the creature effects, etc., for the reasons why. But I want in-universe explanations, and I just don't know. It's not because they think we're genetically superior and they're going to integrate our DNA and they're modifying themselves. I can buy that the Bad Bloods maybe are doing that, but I don't buy that the Predator Society is doing that or condoning it. So, your thoughts, comments below, let me know. Like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and check out the others. And again, check out Nerd.World Empire and my other channels that are listed in the description box below. Or if you go to the channels on my page, you'll also find links to various other things, like my Instagram and other such areas. I just want to take this moment to thank you for watching that video. If you liked what you saw, please check out my social links in the description box below to Instagram and Twitter and others. And also is down there a link to my Patreon page where you can support this channel and the others as I try to grow this franchise and do this more regularly. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you for watching, and bye bye.